Hello. So I'm here live on Insight Timer, I think. And I have two lovely, no, I have a few more actually. So I think that's Jackie and Wendy. Hi. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. And Jackie. Oh, that makes me feel so good. I have to tell you, my heart is pounding a little bit here. Um, as you guys know, that this is my first live on Insight Timer. Actually, I have to admit that I've only ever done, I think, two lives before. So this is a big deal. So, oh, it's Anchor. Hi. That's lovely. Long time no see. So I'm kind of getting used to what's happening, who I can speak to. Um, it might take me a moment. I have to tell you that, hi, Jane. Hello. It's I live in a very quiet area, so I'm very lucky. But yeah, thank you. Lovely daffodils. Um, but I have two noisy dogs who, because it's so quiet, they hear everything that's going on outside. And we get a lot of walkers. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they don't suddenly set off barking. They're currently sat on the bed. So it's lovely to see you, people joining me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sharon Crab, as it says. The J, yeah, the J is put there because in other places where I'm known on social media, I was confused with another Sharon Crab, would you believe? So the J kind of stuck. And oh, thank you, Wendy. So yes, and oh, Claire's here. Good, I can see Claire. It's really funny to see you all kind of jumping up and down on the bottom. But yeah, hi Claire. So yes, as I was saying, my name is Sharon. I'm a transformational life coach and equine facilitated practitioner. And unfortunately, my horses aren't here. But maybe in the future, who knows? I might be able to set something up from the stables, which would be fun. Um, and yeah, and my work is all about, what's it all about? Well, it's really simple, actually. I just want people to know that that it's possible to have a better experience of life, that it's possible that life doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be hard. And yeah, most of my life was hard. So it's never too late to find out that there's something different. So yeah, oh, a live with the horses would be cool. It would, wouldn't it? I'm not sure what the internet's like over there, but I love a challenge. So, and the horses, actually, I have to, as we're just warming up, I'll tell you that the horses are a huge part of my life and my journey and have kind of brought me here. Hi, Tanya. So, I do include them in my coaching because I think they've been my best teachers, and certainly helped me become a better human being, helped me set me on this road really to understanding what it means to be human. So, Tanya. So yes, and that's why I that's why I include them really with everything, and I do quite a lot of work with them, with people. I do a kind of equine therapy with people when talking doesn't work. For some people it's really hard, And horses have a way of helping you open up a door so that you can actually start talking to someone. I think it's because they don't really have an agenda. So there's no judgment from the horses. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. And what I'm here to talk about is doing my first live talk on Insight Timer. Because it was a kind of step into the unknown, which is what I've titled this talk. And it just seemed appropriate to start off my journey as a teacher on Insight Timer by using the experience I'm going through, at the moment. I love all these hearts. I've never had so many hearts sent to me. Can you hear mine pounding? I've just noticed that my chair's really, really squeaky. It's funny what you notice in the moment, isn't it, Wendy? So as I said, I'm a coach, a transformational coach, but actually what I think of myself as being more is kind of an explorer. On a journey exploring what it means to be human. And in the work I do with people, I guess I think of myself as a guide. It's like, come and join me on the exploration, because what I've realized is that, in the work I do with other people, I'm still learning all the time. And I'm definitely not an expert, although I am a teacher on Insight Timer now. But I'm definitely not an expert. And I kind of like that, because I like to be open for learning. And so this journey on Insight Timer is another part of my exploration, and kind of stepping into the unknown a little bit more. So how are we doing on time? We're nearly up to about 10 minutes. Do you know what? I can't remember how much time I allocated. I think it's 45 minutes, but we'll see. Anyway, so the title of my talk is Embracing Adventure in Uncertainty, or something like that. Basically, it's about stepping into the unknown, and there's the dogs. And stepping into the unknown, just not knowing. And I'm very excited to be here on Insight Timer. And I have to say, I am a tad nervous, so please bear with me. But this topic, embracing the unknown, really, really, really resonates with me. I mean, you guys, do you ever get scared of not knowing stuff? Fretting over what ifs or I don't knows. Anyone there struggle with those sorts of things? You're all gone really quiet now. Well, always, says Jackie. Yeah, all the time, says Isabel. And sometimes it's kind of, you don't even realize you do, or at least for me, I don't even realize I'm doing it, but it can be, uncertainty over really simple things, or it can be really, really big things. And sometimes it's like an undercurrent And but I've learned something in recent years about this. And when you think of the unknown, what is the unknown, first of all? I mean, how do you describe the unknown? That's something I've thought about quite a lot. And I kind of came to the conclusion that it's just an empty space. It's not known. It's just unknown. What is it? It's just a space. And what I'm going to talk about in this talk is that I've learned something really important about that space. Because what happens with this space, this unknown, is that we fill it up with something. And in my case, what I fill it up with is fear. And that looks really real to me. The stuff I put into that space looks like the truth. But in recent years, I've learned something really life-changing. So I've learned that what I put into that space is scary stories. Maybe you guys, we fill it up with scary thoughts. And we believe those thoughts, But what I've learned recently it's been, I don't know, I guess I first kind of stumbled across this back in, I think it was 2017 or 18. And that's another story which maybe I'll share with you guys one day. But I stumbled across something, an understanding that completely kind of flipped, just turned everything upside down and inside out. And it really, what it was, I started to learn and to see how we work, how our minds work. And it was really life-changing. I mean, that's why I say it's never too late, because I'm not going to say I'm old, but I'm not young. And I guess I thought before this that I was just the way I was, and that was it. And there was nothing, as much as I was interested in kind of personal development and change, I kind of thought I was just Sharon, and I was the way I was, and that was it. So, but what I've learned is that the key to understanding what makes us human is all about understanding how we work psychologically, how our minds work, about thinking, about feelings, and about behavior, and how that all links together and where it all kind of comes from. So today I want to share 3 things really that I've learned. And I want to keep it fairly simple because this is a big deal for me on Insight Timer. And I do have a tendency to go off on a tangent sometimes. So I want to kind of keep it simple, as they say. So there are 3 things I want to share that I've learned. And the first thing is, it's huge. It was huge for me. And it is that when it comes to thinking, just because a thought comes into your head, you don't have to believe it. it doesn't mean it's real. Now, for some of you here, that probably you've probably heard it before, and maybe it doesn't seem, it seems quite obvious, but for me it was like it was a bombshell, because I'd spent my life thinking, I was a good girl guide, be prepared for any eventuality. So I was always thinking about everything, really. And I was, in fact, I remember, it's just come to me. I remember someone saying to me once, it's not very nice, this, and I was, apparently I was walking towards them, and they walked past me and said hello, and I completely ignored them, and they actually stopped and kind of said, hey. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And and the person said to me, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm really good. And he said, well, you should tell your face. And I was a bit upset, actually, but looking back, I can see that I used to walk around stuck in my head, thinking about what was happening, what I had to do, my constant to-do list, the whole, everything was thinking. So, and I believed what I was thinking. And I thought you were supposed to think a lot. I thought that's what it was for. I thought the answers, that I'd have to figure everything out. So when I first heard that, you don't have to believe your thoughts, it was like, well, I can actually remember the moment, because I stopped short. It was like, it was like the hamster wheel I was on just stopped. And I also, in that moment, kind of realized that I was driving the hamster wheel, if that makes sense. I mean, I know it makes sense, but that came to me in that moment. And it was like the world stopped for a minute, or a moment. I don't know how long. Everything just kind of dropped away, and that thought was like, it was like a news flash. You don't have to believe your thoughts. And I didn't really understand it, to be honest. But I knew it was true. And dogs barking. And sorry, I've kind of gone back to that moment, because I remember it was like everything slowed down, and I suddenly became kind of aware of where I was. And I wasn't anywhere spectacular. I was actually, I was sat in my conservatory in a different house then, listening to someone talking. But everything just slowed down and stopped, and it was like I dropped out of my head, and I can just remember smiling, like somebody had given me a hug, just feeling really okay. And I knew it was true. And that was really huge. And that started me on this journey. And I'm getting emotional remembering about it. Because that idea of not believing my thoughts just, it really got me curious about lots of things, about where they were coming from, why I was having them, and all that sort of thing. And I didn't have the answers, but I knew it was true. And anyway, let me just rewind a bit, because I think I've gone off. I want to come back to this talk. So when I scheduled this talk, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, I've had a lot of thinking going on again. my mind has been doing a really great job of filling up this unknown space of a talk on Insight Timer. And I've had a lot of thinking, and it's been like, what if thinking? What if the dogs won't stop barking, or the phone goes, or my internet drops out? Kind of thinking. What if I'm not good enough? That's the favorite thinking. Lots of I'm not good enough thinking. Lots of comparison about all the people I know who do this much better than me. Why am I doing this? I could just be an old lady retired and, all that sort of thinking. Even, shall I cancel thinking, That's been going on. And along with it has been going some pretty uncomfortable feelings. And as a friend of mine who's not so far away called them ouchy feelings. A bit stressed, to be honest. And I didn't sleep so good, But there's a big but here. It's a good but. The good but is that in spite of all that, I also have learned something else that's equally as huge as you don't have to believe your thoughts. And it is that thinking, my thoughts generate feelings. Now, that had never occurred to me before, until I heard that and started to think about that, reflect on it. I really thought that that I was feeling things that were coming at me from the outside, like the Insight Timer talk was making me feel stressed, or any other thing that I would stress about or worry about. That's what it looked like. And so it made sense, complete sense, to try and prepare as well as possible, have loads of notes, have scripts, do lots of stuff to make the situation easier or to change the environment. And that's what I thought. That's where I thought feelings came from, from circumstances, from situations, from people, people making me stressed. That was a good one. So this second thing that I'm sharing with you today about thinking creates feelings was another blow your socks off, bombshell, stop me in my tracks kind of thing. And it, again, I didn't really understand it, but it made sense. Again, I was like, yeah, of course. And it, the thing was, although it made sense, it didn't actually change everything. It wasn't like, because it still seems sometimes that things on the outside are, making me feel a certain way, like this talk, my first ever talk on Insight Timer. And if anyone's jumped in late, I've just remembered that I'm supposed to reintroduce myself and tell you that I'm Sharon J. Crabb, and I'm a transformational life coach. And my coaching comes from an understanding called the 3 principles, which is what I'm talking about, but kind of indirectly. So, and I'm talking about how our mind works, and sharing 3 really, for me, massive, mind-blowing facts. The first one is you don't need to believe your thoughts, and that's pretty amazing when you've spent all your life thinking that you have to believe them. And the second one that I'm talking about now is that our feelings come from our thoughts, that we generate those feelings ourselves from the inside. So So here we go. We've got thoughts, we've got feelings. They're connected. They're two sides of the same coin. That's started to make sense. But the third thing I want to share is about feelings, because feelings are meant to be felt. And funnily enough, we tend to kind of move away from bad feelings and towards good feelings. And I'm going to bring the horses in here, because in my work with horses, with the intervention I do with people, with my clients, you see this all the time, because horses instinctively move away from uncomfortable feelings and towards, they seek good things, good feelings, and they move away from bad feelings. And that's what we do. We chase and try and hang on to good feelings, and we resist and avoid bad feelings. Now, I could go down a whole new road talking about labels and feelings and all this sort of thing, but that's probably too much for today, or too much for me today. So all I really want to share is that feelings are meant to be felt. All feelings are welcome here. And what I've learned, and what I now share, and I'm going to share on Insight Timer, and I share with the people I work with in other platforms and in person, is that we are perfectly designed. We're perfectly designed to feel our feelings. And that our feelings have got something incredibly important to tell us. So, and that, in our society, or whatever, in most societies, we put a lot of effort into that, hanging on to good feelings and not wanting bad feelings. But what I've come to see is that our psychological system, how our mind works, is awesome. and our thoughts and our feelings are there to guide us through this journey of life. Okay, so our feelings are nothing to be scared of. They're like an inner GPS system or an alarm system. Okay, and really what's happening is, innocently, we misunderstand what our feelings are telling us, because what they're actually doing is they're alerting us to the quality of our thinking. So if I come back to this talk and I tell you about, as I've already mentioned, that I've had a few days of stressful feelings, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of worry, stuff going on, not sleeping too good, The thing is that a few years ago, well, I probably wouldn't have done this in the first place, but a few years ago, I would have got stressed about that. So I would have got stressed about my stress. I would have worried about my worrying. I would have been freaked out because I wasn't sleeping so good. But now I'm okay with it. Because I know I'm okay anyway, which is again another talk. But I know that my feelings are just telling me not to trust my thinking. That my thinking is just going a little bit crazy, and that my mind, that chatter that's going on, is actually just doing its job. And I'm just feeling, I'm just believing stinking thinking. Just doesn't sound very nice, does it? But you know what I mean? It's those feelings are just telling me that I've kind of gone, I'm a little bit off kilter. I'm listening to all that rubbish about I'm not good enough, everyone's better than me. What if this happens? What if that happens? Oh my goodness, I'm too old for this and blah blah blah. And what do I know? All of that stuff. I'm stuck in that. So the thing is, what that means is that I know that. I notice that. My feelings don't scare me anymore. I can live with them. I can feel them. And the moment I do that and I don't resist them, things settle down. And it's kind of different levels of settle down, but there are even moments where the stress is exchanged for excitement and anticipation, because I have to tell you, I'm actually loving being here. I'm very excited about what the future holds on Insight Timer and in general. So yeah, and this is what I'm going to be talking about from now on. Me, my dogs, my horses, everything that happens to me in my life, I'm going to share. And I'm going to try and, through what I see for myself, share what I know and what I've learned. Like I said before, I'm not an expert, but I am passionate about this. And I do know that my life has changed massively. And this is where I want to be. So I guess that's it really for this talk. I think I'm not quite sure. I can't remember how long. I can't remember if I did a half hour or 45 minutes, but never mind. What I'd like to know is, I'd love to hear from you if any of this resonates. And I haven't talked about donations, which I know I've got a little post-it note which has told me I'm supposed to mention donations. But what I do know is that I'm very grateful for any donations, and that's what enables me to continue doing this work. So thank you. And the other thing is, I don't know, I'm on Apple, so my lives, Apple takes a chunk apparently. So if you do feel like donating, perhaps you would click on my profile. Just click on the photo of my face. And also, I'd love you to know that if you want to follow me, or if you go onto my profile, on my About page, if you find the link, which is at the bottom of my the About section, the link will take you to a gift, which is all about a little bit more detail about my understandings around stress. And it'll take you to my website and everything else. So, oh, yes, Wendy says, a gift. Yes, it's a free gift. And Wendy says she did donate. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you all. Thank you for the hearts. I haven't scheduled a talk for next week because I'm going to be away, and I'm going to be away at a conference in Devon with lots of lovely people who are all going to be sharing their stories. So I will probably schedule my next talk for the week after. But I'm going to say that, oh, thank you, Claire. If you scroll up the comments, you can see the donations. Thanks. Oh, cool. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that I am going to be doing this regularly, and if you follow me, you will get notifications telling you. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to schedule a talk for a week on Monday when I'm back. when I will have loads of lots more to share after my week in Devon. So thank you everybody for joining me. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I'm scrolling up the comments. So thank you. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Claire. Maybe I should go to Devon. Yes, Wendy, come and join us in Devon. Are you coming to the UK this week? Oh, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. I didn't realise you were here. Yeah, I know. I can't wait to see you. So, yeah, I think I'm going to, unless anyone's got any questions. Oh, Vicky snuck in late. Oh, Vicky, you missed it. Never mind. Actually, just for my buddies on here from our little group, I think I've recorded this. I hope so. I'm a bit scared to touch my screen in case something goes wrong. But oh, you got the last 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. So I may keep the recording, and I do have a YouTube channel, which is mostly filled with me doing stuff with horses. But there is a link, I think, on my website that will take you there. And I am also on Facebook, Sharon J. Crabb. So I share a little bit on there. And yeah, I think I'm done. I hope you liked my daffodils. I bought them specially. So I'm going to finish this off because I don't want it to kind of just, bleh. And thank you all again for joining me. And Daffs are gorgeous. And I look forward to seeing you in my next talk. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Lovely to have met you all on here. Goodbye. Yes. Okay. Oh my God.